A little bit of time on the TOA line array lineup. We'll get into the specifications of the new HX7 features, as well as information on the matching FB120 subwoofer, along with the accessories that tie this new system together. So what is a line array speaker? Line array is a group of omnidirectional standard type driver speakers arrayed in a straight vertical line. They're closely spaced together in phase and equal amplitude. They're very useful in projecting sound over long distance. They're definitely very efficient in throwing sound in greater distance than a conventional speaker. They're very directional in their vertical coverage. I'll show you some visuals as we move along here. A more concentrated wavefront than a conventional speaker. And the longer the array, the more depth and low frequency control, which is definitely desirable in certain tricky installations and applications where you have very reverberant rooms and you need to control that. Places sound where it's needed, not on the building structure. So again, on let's say application maybe house of worship or school gyms and arenas where you have very reflective surfaces, ceilings, and floors and so on. It allows you to put the sound where needed and keep them away from those trouble surfaces that can cause delays in the audio reaching the intended person. So looking at the difference between conventional speakers versus a line array, I guess we'll focus on the right-hand side where we have a standard speaker. And think of that like a light bulb. A standard speaker has a dispersion angle that is usually 360 degrees around. So if it's 9 degrees, it's 9 degrees horizontally as well as vertically, above and below. A lot of times this is very desirable for a shielding speaker because it creates a nice covered pattern below. If you look at a line array on the left-hand side, think of it more of a stage spotlight or maybe a mag light. A line array allows you to really focus the audio where you need it to go. So on the bottom we have a straight line array, which is basically going to disperse the audio straight ahead. So you'll notice above and below the line array, we don't get the dispersion that can cause delays in getting to, as they receive to the ear where the intended participant is that's listening to the audio. Again, looking at the standard speaker here, you've got direct audio as well as reflected delayed audio, which is undesirable. There's also line arrays that have a little bit of a curve or adjustment to them that allows you to throw a little bit of vertical coverage below or maybe above if that's desirable. So again, it's really like allowing you to really pinpoint audio where you need, like a mag light, and keeping it away from troublesome areas where you don't need the audio to be present. So if you look at a conventional speaker, this is a little bit of ease focus information. So we've got the side shot of the speaker of a conventional speaker, and this could be any manufacturer's conventional two-way speaker, non-line array speaker. So looking at the side view, you're going to see you've got audio going straight ahead, but you also have energy being present above and below. So again, if this is a hard ceiling, the top of let's say a church, house of worship, or a hall, that sound is going to propagate off of that hard top and reflect back down at a delayed point. As compared to the direct audio coming from the speaker. Same as below. And you look at the top view overall of the speaker, left and right, you see the coverage to the left and to the right of the speaker. So this is the kind of information you'll get in an easy model for a conventional loudspeaker. If you look at a straight line array, so again, a speaker with straight up and down, no curve to it. Over here is a picture of the new HX7 in a straight 0-degree pattern. We have 0 degrees above and below in the vertical axis. So you can see that quite apparent on the side shot of the HX7 as you see the energy pointed straight directly out from the loudspeaker and very minimal energy going above and below. So again, it keeps it off that reflective surface that can create a lot of troubles in installations and take away from voice intelligibility. But when we look at an overall view, it has, a wide range in its horizontal coverage, left and right of the speaker. So no change in that side of things, just more control above and below the speaker on a 0-degree line array. So we'll quickly go through the TOA ever-expanding offering in line arrays. We'll start on the left at the SRH series. So this is a very slim line array. Very small, full-range drivers, more so for speech reinforcement, not as much as music, more speech reinforcement. Comes in various options, either a straight throw or a curved short throw version. Where we'll see these is corporate small boardrooms, that type of application, or side fills, and houses of worship, some airport applications. The big brother that we move over to the SRS. So this is a two-way scenario with woofer and tweeter array. These are available in long throw and short throw versions, as well as weatherproof versions. So again, maybe the front of a church, more of the main audio in a house of worship, larger applications in airports, places like that. Also, we use these quite frequently in community centers and pool areas. Direct audio, again, towards the pool area and keep away from the reflective walls and ceilings in those type of environments. In the last year, we've also released the SRM series, which is a full-range mechanically steerable line array. So different from the SRH and the SRS, which are a fixed line array, whether it's a short throw or long throw, the SRM allows adjustment down below, think of it almost like an accordion where you can adjust the dispersion angle vertically below the speaker. So this allows a little more customization in an application that may require not the standard coverage of some of the other line arrays. In addition to that, we have our SRD8 series of line array, which is a two-way line array with driver and tweeter. But this is an active version. The ones to the left are passive version, require external amplification. The SRD8 is an amplified digital and a software steerable line array. So it allows you via software to control the dispersion of the speaker. So maybe applications where mounting options are not desirable or not actually where you'd like to put the speaker, but you're kind of limited, whether it's an old infrastructure in a house of worship where you're stuck putting the speaker in a certain spot, or it's just aesthetics. This allows you to control the dispersion of the speaker via a software. And to the right of that, we have an SRT5, which is a pre-configured line array, ruggedized, geared towards facilities like community centers, gyms, places like that, where they may have balls or things get thrown at it, so it's a ruggedized version line array. Moving on, we have more of our adjustable line arrays. We have our world-famous HX5 on the left-hand side that's been around numerous years and that serves us very well in many applications, from school gyms, very strong in the arena, hockey arena market, indoor and outdoor versions for the HX5s. And this is an adjustable speaker that allows you to adjust the various components, the four components, to obtain the array coverage you need. Next to that is a new exciting HX7, which we'll get into the specifications, the information on in the next slide. But very excited about this. This offers extended low frequency, increased intelligibility, smoother high frequency as well in the HX5s. And it fills a void of the larger type, mid to large type installation, where the HX5s may require more cadence. The HX7s will perform quite well in these applications. So right of that, we have our SRC mid to large application line arrays, larger high capacity seating arenas or theaters. And the SRAs is our full scale large line array for fixed installation. But the reason we're here is to talk about the HX7. So again, here's a picture of the HX7. Looks similar to the HX5, but definitely much improved or changed. Not the HX5 has issues, but it's a natural progression of the speaker as requirements change and facilities requirements change along with them. So HX7 is a variable dispersion line array, which includes our patented sync drive waveguide technology, and I'll touch upon that in the next slide or two. Thanks to its award-winning enclosure design, it employs a modular per unit, so this is 4 modules, make up one HX5. That allows us to precisely adjust the sound dispersion from the speaker. So we have a 0-degree version, so that's straight up energy directly out from the box. 15-degree, 30, and 45-degree adjustments that can be made for these various boxes, the 4 boxes that make up an HX7. The HX7 offers precision clarity for a wide range of applications, from sporting venues, auditoriums, concert halls, houses of worship. The HX5s, you're getting affordable quality and stellar performance. If you haven't heard this, approach your regional sales manager for a demo. We do have these in stock now, and they sound amazing. I've heard them at our head office in Mississauga as well as Infocom, and a beautiful, nice sounding speaker, very nice, tight, controlled impact, and very smooth, high frequencies. Definitely a very impressive speaker to listen to. So we'll look at the specifications. This is your standard HX7 specification. So it is a bass reflex style of enclosure. Parallel handling is 250 watts pink, 750 watts continuous program, which is definitely improvement over the HX5 just in power handling where that is required. 8 ohm impedance. Sensitivity is increased to 100 dB, 1 watt a meter. Frequency response out of this, out of the HX7 is 75 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Crossover is in around 1.7K. And I guess directly the angle dispersion horizontally is 100 degrees, so that's your left and right. And as I mentioned before, you have options to adjust the vertical dispersion, and we'll mention that again and look at that again, the options as we move forward. So that is a variable that does change depending on how you configure this line array. Speaker components, the low frequency driver is a 5.5-inch driver, so there's 8 of those in one HX7. And the high frequency is based upon 4 compression drivers, so definitely a change in the high frequency side. And we add our wave control front on this to add another level of control and to the high frequency, which aids to the intelligibility of the speaker. Terminals, standard speak-on connection and screw terminals on the unit, and finish is a molded cabinet punch steel mesh on the front of it. Dimensions are below. These specifications are available at TOAcanada.com, and you can look at the various weights and the sizes as you do adjust the line array. The dimensions do change, and I mentioned that as we go a little bit further, but this is all available on our website right now. The rev-proof version is very similar. The main difference is the frequency range changes again, because there are inserts there for the low frequency ports to seal them up for the environmental issues if they are mounted outside. So you do lose a little bit of low frequency on the weatherproof version, and we do have treatment is done to the dryers and so on to allow it to have the IPX4 water rating. Here we have some ease focus that has been done by our head of technical department, Bill Soper, in our head office in Mississauga. So this is a single HX7 on the left, and we're looking at its coverage. So this is the horizontal coverage, and this is your vertical coverage. So this is at a 0 degree configuration. So straight at you'll see the energy going directly out in front of it, and reduced dispersion above and below the speaker. Below that, we have the full 60 degrees, so the full opposite of the 0 degree, a full 60 degree dispersion setup. So you'll see it changes from the directly straight out to coverage directly below, more of a concise coverage down below if it's a near field coverage that you're desiring in your application. And below that, we'll see 2 HX7 stacked together, and you'll see increased coverage in long distance in the 0 degree configuration. A lot more energy with the stacking, as I mentioned earlier. As you stack more drivers and more boxes in an array, it increases the power and energy directly in front of that box to cover a longer distance directly in front of it. A little quick application, for the HX7 is an arena setting. So this is information that our tech provided us with double stacks of the HX7 in this scenario. So we have them along this quadrant here. So this would be the seating. This would be a typical, I would say, 6,000 to 8,000 seat arena. So the HX7 definitely performs in the medium-sized arenas quite well, and this is the information that kind of backs it up. So this is a double stack covering the seating, and you can see the depth of rows in the seating of the bowl around the arena. Additionally, we have some centerized coverage here with just a single stack firing down and covering down each length towards the goal side of the arenas, we have double stacks as well. So again, to cover this type of application in the past, we'd either have to go with maybe 4 cabins of the HX5s or step up the SRC. In this application with the SX7s, with this increased power handling, low frequency, increased high frequency, we can obtain, definitely very nice coverage, intelligibility with double stacks, so 2 HX5 arrays. Now we'll get into the components of the HX5 and have a look at how it all comes together. So this is a single module of an HX5, and there are 4 of those in a complete HX5 unit. So why the HX7? Well, it meets the need for a more powerful audio. So in applications and larger venues where we need a little bit more power, and maybe the HX5 did not quite meet the needs of these larger applications, higher seating capacity, and so on. Above 3,000 or 4,000 seats, the HX7 fits in there very nicely. So we have increased power handling, 750 watts continuous program power at 8 ohms. Sensitivity, 100 dB sensitivity, so very, very sensitive, very sensitive when adding power. Definitely takes advantage of that power quite well. And as I mentioned before, 2 times 5.5-inch low frequency drivers in the unit, and a 1-inch high frequency compression driver in the waveguide. The waveguide, I'll show you in the next slide, kind of what that does with the high frequency. So again, as you can see, 4 of those stacked in the array. So on the left, this is our sync drive line array. So it's built in, it's a basic waveguard control horn, ensures precise high frequency control and superior reproduction of high frequency sound. So you've got your high frequency drivers here. They come in and hit a multitude of especially patented design guides and channels, which allows us to ensure adequate, even, smooth coverage of the high frequency out of the throat of the speaker itself. So very much an improvement in the high frequency control and natural intelligibility of the speaker in the high frequency waveguide. So the sync drive, there is information on our website that gets into more of the technical side of things, but it basically allows timeline and more control of the high frequency out of the speaker box. Again, mentioned earlier, we have 0-degree mode up to 60 degrees on these units, so 0, 15, 30. And this is your 0-degree here, and this is a 45. To show you how it kind of opens and closes by adjustments on the rear of the speaker. And again, just a visual of moving these speakers, opening and closing, 15 degree, 30, 45, and 60. Just keep in mind in installation side of things that dimensions do change as we open and close these speakers, so allow for that in your design and mounting locations. Adjustment of the HX7 has been simplified via the mechanism to change the angles on the rear of the speaker boxes. So this is kind of a zoom in of how this is adjusted. So as you can see, there's a hole here for your 0-degree, and then the next hole is your 15-degree. So it's a matter of pulling this pin out, moving it out of the way, and dropping it down. So as you do drop down these various pins, then the speaker closes down, which increases the dispersion of the speakers. So a simplified version for adjusting this out in the field and the installation side of the installation of the HX7. When it comes to stacking the units, you're limited to 2 HX5s per stack. This is a little different than the HX5 where you are allowed 4, but with increased power handling of the HX7, larger drivers, extended low frequency, the 2 in the stack performs quite well. Excuse me. Matched with the HX7, we've increased the size and power handling of the accompanied subwoofer with these as well. So as you all may be familiar with the HX5, it has a 12-inch ported subwoofer. With the HX7, we've added a 15-inch ported subwoofer with the HX7 accompaniment. So increased power handling there, as well as low frequency reproduction increase as well with the matching of the HX7 with the FP120 subwoofer. Looking at the specs for this, so continuous pink noise on the FB120 is 200 watts, 600 watts continuous program. I may have not mentioned before, but as many of our other speakers, the HX7 and the FB120 are available in black or white. 8 ohm impedance sensitivity of this subwoofer is 93 dB, 1 watt 1 meter. Frequency response 40 to 400 hertz. Again, as mentioned, a 15-inch cone. Speak-on connection as well as screw terminal connection. It is a treated MDF cabinet with punch steel surface. To note, this is an indoor subwoofer only, not intended for outdoor application because it is a ported subwoofer. It's not advised to use this in an outdoor application, only indoor applications for the FB150. Next, we'll take a look at some of the accessories that go with the HX7 and FB150. So above we start with the speaker connection brackets here. So this is needed and required. These are extras when ordering and putting together a system when you need to array 2 HX7s together. So they're speaker connection brackets. Also are the angle adjustment bars, as I've shown how you configure. They are a separate spec that allows you to change the adjustment of the speakers. Very similar to the HX5, we have a rigging frame. The rigging frame will allow you to mount the FB150 above an HX5 cluster. So your 4 or 5 fly points above, the FB150 mounts directly on top of the rigging frame, and the HX7 will mount below it. We do have a rigging frame here that allows for mounts on the ceiling, and a few more mounts actually below as we look at the next slide, which is fairly similar. We have a wall mount bracket that will mount directly to the rigging frame as well, so you can allow you to mount it on the wall, let's say a gym application left and right of the stage, and allow you to array it, open up the dispersion angle, as well as adjust it left and right. So that's a combination of the wall mount bracket and the rigging frame. In addition to that, with just a straight wall mount bracket, which I believe not allow as much adjustment to your left and right, we have that option right there. Again, great for school, gym, left and right of the stage. Anything wall mount. We do have an option for mounting the transformer, which is over here, the MT200, if you wish to run it in a 70-volt application. So that mounts on the back of the HX7 and allows you to mount the MT200 directly to the back or rear of the speaker. And additionally, for portable application, there is a stand mount bracket available for HX7, which allows for your standard pull mount. So a nice variety of brackets for the HX7 and FB150. If you have a chance, go to our website and download the brochure for the HX7, which goes through all the brackets and mounting options for this particular speaker. That's available there. And I believe that just about covers the HX7. It's a very nice sounding speaker. It takes the HX5 and the technology there to the next level, being that it's 2015, as mentioned, increased in voice intelligibility, extended frequency range, more tighter controlled bass, and smoother high frequency. Very impressive speaker. And again, I encourage you to contact your local regional sales manager and ask for a demo. I'm sure they'll be happy, as I would, to accommodate that and